God bless you, everyone. Welcome all of our fantastic myEcon associates. Super excited to share with you today. I've got a great word for you today. We're going to talk about how to accelerate to dominate. I want to teach you all about that. And we're going to talk about it's your time. So I want you to type into the chat. I want you to say, it's my time and I will not be denied. I want you to write that and get that affirmation already working in your mindset. It's my time and I will not be denied. I love the word today, which is strategy. We're going to talk about some strategy to help you to go to the next level. I'm going to give you a specific strategy for how to leverage the end of this year. If you've ever taken a plane trip and you've ever gone on vacation or gone on a business trip and you're on the plane and you're taxiing, you're moving down you're taxiing, preparing for takeoff, you always notice that when you're in the line, like the engines are kind of revving at a low level, and then you taxi and you might be reading, you might be looking at your phone, then put your phone away, get organizing your papers, just doing whatever you want to do, and you're not really paying attention because you know there's still planes that are ahead of you that need to take off, right? But then when the pilot hits that final runway, when they turn and they're about to hit that takeoff, what happens? You hear those engines come up. You hear that rev come up in the engines. The pitch is different. The pitch is different at that point. Those engines start to come up. You feel more intensity. And then what happens? It gets your attention. You put everything away, your seatbelts on, and you say, what? It's our time to take off. We're about to take off right now. It's our time to go. And you start paying attention at that point. And then you start to feel that acceleration as the pilot is going down that final runway. You start to feel that, and you feel those forces starting to kick in. Why? Because he's got to get that nose of the plane up so that he can get the thrust and get you into the air. And you're prepared for that. You hear that, you feel that, you sense that, you get ready for that. Why? Because it's the time, right? It's our time to take off when you're in the plane. Well, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you should be feeling that excitement. You should be feeling the engines up right now in myEcon. You should hear a higher pitch sound right now with myEcon. What's been happening over the last quarter, what's been happening with the cash flow max 21, it's a different sound in myEcon right now. Why? Because it's your time. It's your time. The engines are up. The compensation plan is locked and loaded. All of our product offerings are locked and loaded. It's your time. And so I want to get you prepared for that. I want you to type in the chat, hit some fire and say, it's my time and I will not be denied. I'm going to share my slides with you and I'm going to take you into it as we talk today. It's my time and I will not be denied. What you hear in that plane is acceleration. That's what you hear when you're about to take off. You hear that acceleration as you're preparing for that ascent. And then you begin to feel that as that pilot is climbing, you feel that ascent until he hits that cruising altitude. Well, that's what we want to do as we close out this year. We want to be in that ascent. We want to recognize it's our time. We want to stomp our foot on the gas just like that pilot does so that we can get the nose of our business up. We can take off. We can ascend and ascend and ascend until we hit the cruising altitude of the finances and the income that you want to create for your business. So today I want to talk to you about this topic. It's my time and I will not be denied. Accelerate to dominate. How to accelerate to dominate is what we're going to do today. I love this. I teach this to my coaching clients always at the end of the year to get them prepared for what they need to do going into the next year. And so I want to share with you this great quote from Les Brown. He says, life has no limitations except the ones that you, right? That's what we want to focus on, except the ones that you make. Life has no limitations except the ones that you make. We want to take the limitations off right now in fourth quarter of 2021. And we're going to land fourth quarter of 2021, but I want your eyes set on 2022 because what this quarter is really all about is to raise your expectations take off the limitations, and get you prepared to ascend now so that you can be at that cruising altitude when we hit in January. You ever notice, like, some people come into the new year and they're already gunning? Like, some people come into the new year and they're flying out of the gate, and other people are kind of sluggish coming out of the holidays. They're kind of sluggish coming out. They're just setting their New Year's resolutions and goals and things like that, and they get off to a slow start in January. Well, I want you to shift your mindset to start thinking about your new year starting right now in fourth quarter, so that you have a time for that acceleration. So when you hit January, you're already at full throttle. That's where we want to be. And you've got to take the limitations off of your life to get that done. You've got to take, we talked about that last time, removing any limiting beliefs, right? So now I want to shift you into some strategy for how to actually do that and apply those new belief systems that you have. Let's start with some wisdom from the word. Everybody say, it's my time. It's my time, and I will not be denied. Let's talk about what the Bible has to say about our time. This is from Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 to 17. It says, look carefully then how you walk, live purposefully and worthily and accurately. Isn't that powerful? Live purposely and worthily and accurately, not as the unwise and witless, but as wise, sensible, intelligent people, making the most of the time, making the very most of the time, buying up each opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be vague and thoughtless and foolish, but understanding and firmly grasping what the will of the Lord is. That is such powerful knowledge and wisdom that's coming from the word. Live purposefully, worthily, accurately. We don't want to waste our time. We don't want to be not mindful of the times, not paying attention to what season we're in. We want to be mindful of that. We want to prepare and make the most, the very most of the time, and buy up every single opportunity because the days are evil, right? We want to buy up the opportunities. We want to take advantage, not waste our time. We don't want to be vague, thoughtless, and foolish, right? That's what we want to make sure that we do. Let me show you another one that I love from Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 19. This is so powerful. I want you to say, it's my time. It's your time to produce wealth. It is absolutely your time to produce wealth. Do you know that in the word of God, it says, and it is a good thing. It is a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it. Is that powerful? To enjoy your work and accept your lot in life. This is indeed a gift from God. It's a gift from God. Mr. Ivy Stokes just broke that down from the book of Deuteronomy. I'm sharing with you from Ecclesiastes to say it's a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it, to enjoy your work. Do you know 80% of people don't enjoy their work? They're doing things that they are not called to do, don't want to do, trapped in a position that they don't want to be in because they don't feel like they have financial options. But that's not what God intends for us. He wants you to have wealth and the good health to be able to enjoy that, not to work all your life. And then by the time you want to enjoy your family and your friends and the people that you love and care about, your health is declining. You're in a bad situation. That's not God's intention for you. He wants you to have wealth and the good health to enjoy it and to enjoy your work out of the gate. Isn't that powerful? Now, check this one out. It's my time. Let's keep that theme in our mind. This is from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. King Solomon wrote the book of Ecclesiastes, and a tremendous wisdom in this book. It says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose, for every matter or purpose under heaven. To everything there is a season. You have to be sensitive to the seasons. You have to be sensitive to the times. And it goes on to say in verse 3, it says, a time to break down and a time to build up. There are some things that we need to be breaking down. We need to be breaking down that debt, breaking down paycheck to paycheck living, right? Breaking down any limitations on your finances and building up. This is our time to build up and build our businesses. Be sensitive to the time and leverage that. It's our time to build up. Let me give you one more. I love this from Nehemiah, the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 20. And Nehemiah said, so I answered them and said to them, the God of heaven himself will prosper us. Therefore, we, his servants, will arise and build. Is that powerful? The God of heaven himself will prosper us. That needs to be your affirmation and your faith declaration every day when you get up in the morning. The God of heaven himself will prosper me. Therefore, I, his servant, will arise and build. It's your time to arise and build. I love that for what we do in terms of business building. It's time to build your business. It's time to build your income. It's time to seize the moment. And that's what I want you to do. Write that one down. Nehemiah 2:20. The God of heaven himself will prosper me. Make it personal. Therefore, I, his servant, will arise and build. Why build now? That's what we want to think about. Why build now? Well, we want to build now because of opportunity. Mr. Ivy Stokes always tells us all about the opportunity that we have. He's been building in the network marketing industry, building businesses for decades, right? And he has recognized that in certain seasons, there are unprecedented opportunities that are different. Right now, we have an opportunity over the next 36 to 60 months to really leverage what's happening with the bounce back of our economy, the bounce back of the travel industry. All these different things are happening and converging on a time frame right now. So we have tremendous opportunity that we want to seize, but you have to seize it in the lifetime of the opportunity. So we have to recognize that opportunities aren't endless. They don't go on and on and on and on. And you can just get around to it whenever you feel like it. There's a season for an opportunity. Just like when you hear those engines come up with that pilot and it's time to take off, that's what you need to be hearing in our economy within myEcon. You need to hear the sound of the opportunity that's presenting itself right now. There's also an opportunity cost. Why build now is because there's an opportunity cost. When you miss the season, there's a cost to that, and it will impact you. When you miss a season of increase, when you miss a season where opportunity is greater than at other times, you can't make that up in other seasons. Okay, if you miss planting, there's nothing to harvest. Okay, and if you miss the planting season and the weather changes, you're in a situation at that point. So there's an opportunity cost when we don't recognize and seize the opportunity. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to say, it's my time. Leonard Ravenhill said, opportunities of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. You got to hear the sound of the opportunity of wealth creation right now, business building right now, income shifting right now. Hear the sound of that and understand that in this season, we have an unprecedented opportunity to build and to really take dominion in our myEcon businesses. Okay, opportunities of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of the opportunity. So what's your opportunity? What's your opportunity to master your income shifting, right? Last month, I told you it's the most important financial strategy you're ever going to learn is income shifting. It's your opportunity to master that, to increase your cash flow starting immediately. You have an opportunity to do that right now, to decrease your taxes every year moving forward. That's what your opportunity is that's presenting itself, to improve your credit score and to save yourself thousands of dollars on wasted interest. You don't want to do that. You don't want to pay all that extra interest on your home or on a car or on other types of installment debt. You want to seize the opportunity, improve your credit, and make sure that you are not wasting that money. Borrow the least amount of money for the least amount of time, pay it off as quickly as you possibly can. You have an opportunity to live 100% debt-free, to become a debt-free cash millionaire in the next 36 to 60 months or faster with smart investment strategies following the myEcon program, to completely change your finances. You can do that in the next 90 days. Set a foundation to completely change your finances. Is that powerful? That's what we want to do. We want to land this year and make sure that we're doing that we're seizing the opportunity right now. Okay. Living in your biblical birthright to wealth, to ownership, and freedom. Now's the time to seize that opportunity. You don't have to live another day, not another day below your birthright. I want you to say, it's my time and I will not be denied. It's your opportunity to become wealthy. You can do that in your 20s. You're going to hear from some individuals that have done that in their 20s. You can do it in your 70s. It's never too early. It's never too late, but it's your time to seize the opportunity right now, to leave an inheritance to your children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That's what the word says. To establish multi-generational wealth. That's your opportunity. To build a business that creates residual income for freedom. That's the key to your freedom. Otherwise, you're in that perpetual cycle of having to continue to work. So this is the opportunity that you want to seize right now, to build a business that will create residual income for you. And we want to make sure that we do that so you can create that freedom fund, right? Create that freedom fund. We have talked about that the average American is going to spend $987,000 from retirement age on. You've got to be able to generate that out of your assets so you're not continuing to work. Fidelity put out a powerful study that showed the average cost of retirement by state. And in most states, it's right under or right above $1 million for just a normal retirement. We're not talking about living extravagantly. So now's your time to create your freedom fund. Say, it's my time and I will not be denied. You've got to create that $1 million worth of assets so you have got options and you've got flexibility moving forward. Let me talk to you about the opportunity cost, the flip side. What happens when we have inaction and we don't do anything? We just kind of go with the status quo. I saw a very powerful infographic, and it was talking about the gender wage gap. We oftentimes talk about the racial wealth gap, but there's a gender wealth gap as well. And so it's very significant, especially for women of color. And so they took a look. I found this infographic. It was powerful. When you compare, we want in myEcon everybody to have an opportunity to create wealth for their family, regardless of your gender, your race, your ethnicity, everybody, your age. That's what I love about myEcon is everybody has this equal opportunity to go out and make this happen. But in corporate, take a look at what's going on in corporate America. It's very powerful. Black women, you're earning 62 cents on the dollar compared to your white male counterparts. 62 cents doing equivalent work. If you put someone job to job, same position, the Black female will be making 62 cents compared to the dollar made by by her white counterpart. Okay, white male counterpart. Latino women, 54 cents on the dollar. Look at that gap. Okay, indigenous people, 57 cents on the dollar, indigenous women. All right, and so Caucasian women, 79 cents on the dollar. Asian American women are in the best position, but still 90 cents on the dollar. There's no parity. So that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity cost of not building a business for yourself. I found an article that was talking about the Social Security retirement age is moving from 62 to 67. Like, why do you have to be limited to 67, right? Like, you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be able to live your life on your terms far before that age, right? Like, you don't want to have your money controlled that you've paid into, but now they're moving the age up when you can get the money that you've paid in over your entire working life. I also saw an infographic that's talking about the gaps between the upper income individuals in our nation, middle income and lower income. And what it's saying is that as we progress over time from 1970, that gap wasn't that big between those groups, lower, middle, and upper income individuals. But now that gap is very significant. You see that gap is increasing. And the lower ends, that income is not growing. There's a cap, there's a ceiling on that wage growth. So that's the opportunity cost of not building your business, of not doing the thing that you need to do to take yourself to the next level. You're stuck with gender gaps, racial wealth gaps, gaps between classes in our society. You don't want to be in that situation. You don't have to live like that. Let me share this statistic before I move forward. Women earn less than men in 333 of 342 occupations, regardless of education. Even if you get your master's degree and your PhD, it doesn't matter. You still earn less. Women earn more than men in only 9 occupations. 9 out of 342. That's a clue that you want to come out of that. Stop fighting for just that little piece of the pie and build your own pie. It's your time, and you will not be denied. You've got to make a decision to not let that opportunity cost impact you. We talked about the cost of debt. We talked about this last time. I just want to refresh you on that. We talked about median net worth is another indicator that's showing us these big gaps. This is the racial wealth gap that we talked about. And so we can see, if you don't seize the opportunity and build for yourself, build for your last name, you're subjected to this opportunity cost, which is called being left behind. And you don't want to be in that situation. Okay. We talked about CEO pay being 351 times as much as typical worker pay. Take yourself out of that situation and become the CEO. You're going to meet some powerful CEO infinities right here at myEcon who have done just that and have not let this opportunity cost limit them. Don't let it limit you, but you've got to shift your mindset. You've got to get the strategy, as Miss Ivy said, and start moving yourself forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And I want to ask you a question. What's oppressing you? What's oppressing you right now? What systems are oppressing you? Is the debt system oppressing you? Is paycheck to paycheck living oppressing you? Is a lack of financial education oppressing you? What's holding you back from living the life that you really want? We're not thinking in terms of people. We're talking about systems. What is holding you back from living at the level that you want to? Freedom is not going to be handed to you. You have to seize it. You have to say, it's my time and I will not be denied. Freedom's not given to you. The bank isn't going to liberate you from loans and a high interest rate. They're not going to liberate you. You have to demand that by your actions, right? Creating freedom for your own retirement or your freedom years, you have to liberate yourself. No one's going to hand that to you. Freedom is not voluntarily given by an oppressive system. It has to be demanded by your actions every day in what you do in your myEcon business. I want you to shout out and say, it's my time. Let's talk about that acceleration. What does it mean to accelerate? It means to increase the speed of. Now's when we want you to increase your speed. In this fourth quarter of 2021, cause something to occur sooner than expected, to cause to develop or progress more quickly. Your engines need to come up, ladies and gentlemen. You need to hear the sound of your engines coming up as you prepare to accelerate in this fourth quarter. Move or act faster in this quarter. You know, we're about to change the time. We're about to fall back, right? And most people's activity level falls back when we go to daylight savings time, like when we make that transition and we fall back. Well, guess what happens? People's activity level falls back. You don't want to do that. You want to do the opposite. Move faster, accelerate, go in the opposite direction. We're going to accelerate to dominate. You want to have a change in velocity. That's what I'm talking about today, a change in velocity in your activity. And intensify your work ethic. That's what's going to change everything in your life, is to intensify your work ethic so that you can dominate in 2022. Now, I'm not talking about taking dominion over other people. We're not meant to take dominion over people, but you are called to take dominion over everything that's around you, for your family, to dominate, to take dominion, to have the power to rule, to exercise your freedom. And the Lord said in the word, let me give you a couple examples. Genesis 1:26, he said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion. I want you to say, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to accelerate right now so I can dominate in 2022. You're supposed to have dominion. You're not supposed to be under an oppressive system. In Genesis 1:28, it says, and God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and have dominion. You're supposed to take dominion over your financial situation. Okay. Don't wait. Don't wait for the government to fix it for you. Don't wait for your employer. You do it. Take dominion. Psalm 8 verse 6, it says, you have given him dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet. Debt, high taxes, all of that, low credit score, all that stuff's supposed to be under your feet. Take dominion, ladies and gentlemen. It's your time. Well, this is what happens when you accelerate to dominate. When you take action right now in fourth quarter of 2021, What it does is you get to learn skill set, you get to implement, you get to already be ascending to your cruising altitude. And you're going to hit January of 2022 at a significant advantage over the people that are in fallback, that are just not doing anything over the next 60 days. The average person is going to start 2022 down here. They're not going to do anything over November and December. Okay. They're going to celebrate the holidays, which is good. We want to take advantage of the holy days. But you still want to accelerate. You're an entrepreneur. You've got to accelerate over the next 60 days. So you start the year up here. This is the impact of acceleration, the difference. Do you want to be up here hitting at your cruising altitude, or do you want to be just kind of in a sluggardly, kind of slothful position at the end of December? You don't want that. That's not our way in myEcon, right? It's time to accelerate, to dominate. So let me close with 4 actions that I want you to do. We are going to rise up, ladies and gentlemen. Put rise, R-I-S-E, in the chat right now with some fire. We're going to rise up. It's time for you to accelerate in fourth quarter so you can dominate in 2022. What does that look like? Number 1, you got to reset your vision. You've got to get your vision for 2022 already. So the next 60 days are your acceleration time, just like that pilot. You've got to implement new strategies. You're going to learn new strategies today, and we want you to implement them right away. You're going to learn Facebook strategies, build business building strategies. Do all your learning curve now. Go through the turbulence now. Go through the bumpiness in your ascent now. So when you hit January 2022, you're at your cruising altitude and you're producing wealth in a rapid fashion. Set your expectations high for your income in 2022. We have an unprecedented opportunity over the next 36 to 60 months. Mr. Ivy Stokes tells us that every single week. So set your expectations high. Les Brown said, no one rises to low expectations. And then elevate everything. E is for elevate. Elevate everything. Reset your vision, implement new strategies, set your expectations high, and elevate everything. Elevate your work ethic, elevate your goals, elevate your commitment to your team, elevate everything so that you can accelerate to dominate. I want you to say, it's my time and I will not be denied. Remember that the path to success is to take massive, determined action with those breakthrough beliefs that we talked about last month. And when you do it, I guarantee you're going to see your business explode. This is the Power Coach, Madeline Alexander Barbie. And I always want to tell you, you are gifted for greatness. You are encoded with the exceptional. Whatever's burning in your heart to accomplish is absolutely yours to achieve. You've got to make a decision today, ladies and gentlemen. It's my time and I will not be denied. I will accelerate to dominate. I will arise and build. Will you do it? If you will, I guarantee you there's no expiration date that's stamped on the back of your dream. God bless you. I appreciate you all. And let's get ready. It's my time.